Hey boys, welcome back to some Nrl Supercoach 2022. It's going to finally be the round 16 preview. We've obviously had a week off from regular NRL, regular Supercoach, and I'm on the fence about the rep round being cancelled, but also being like how it is now. I don't know. There's upsides and downsides. I got to be honest, I don't like that the regular season football is just non-existent for a week. But obviously, having the rep stuff, it makes sense. But I don't know. I'm very on the fence. Obviously, this is this is another topic I can make another video about. But we're back, baby, and just going over the ranks. So yeah, we shot up a few spots, 169 now. We're pretty cemented in this top bracket. It's gonna be hard to sort of make up ground to the very top echelon, but we're doing well, and I feel like a lot of people's teams are gonna start looking very similar. But let's go through the trades this week. Well, I haven't made them yet, but we'll go through what I'm planning on doing. So we got 14 trades left. We'll have 2 trades. We're definitely going to use our max trades for the next 2 weeks. So we'll have 2 trades this week and then 3 trades next week for the buy. So we'll have 5 trades to bolster round 17 and also, look to the future. Round 17 is going to be a struggle. It's going to be a struggle because if we look, we've got McInnes, we got 1, 2 with Papali'i. We've got Talakai. I don't know. I feel like Talakai probably will play now because a lot of people were concerned because obviously he got the bench spot and he was, obviously if he gets a bench spot in game 3 he'll be out, but Jack Wyden will be back for game 3, and then also Latrell Mitchell's going to be back, and I feel like both those guys, I don't know what Freddie's going to do, but I wouldn't be shocked if Talakai gets dropped. I mean, it's not like he did anything bad in game 2, but he didn't really get many minutes, so I don't know. I mean, he didn't need to because New South Wales were obviously on top at that stage, but Talakai, he didn't really get a chance to do anything, so I wouldn't be shocked if Talakai drops out, but he's a 50-50. I don't know, but we won't count him for now. So we got 2 so far. Nothing in the back row except if Talakai plays. So 2. Mam 3. Dylan Brown 4. Campbell Graham 5. Micah Sivo 6. And then Nico Hines, again, he's been 18th man. Dude, it's such a nightmare. Well, again, it doesn't... So, it's a nightmare because if he's 18th man again, he obviously won't play round 17. But the reason it doesn't actually matter is because everybody has Nico Hines. Like, everybody who's doing well has Nico Hines. So, if he doesn't play, it doesn't actually matter because everybody has him. So, it is what it is. So at the moment we potentially only have six players. So, and the 5 trades I'm going to be making definitely aren't all going to be playing round 17. Most of them will be, but not all. So yeah, it's a bit of a tricky one. So the first trade is definitely an absolute gimme. Cooler, unfortunately couldn't make if he made a little bit more cash, it would have been nice. But, he's from a bottom dollar cheapie. He's got some decent points when I've needed to play him. He's made almost 200k, which is honestly, as a cheapie goes, that's pretty darn solid. His time to go is now, and the guy that everybody is going to be bringing in, everybody's going to be bringing this young fella is Anderson from the Melbourne Storm, who has retained his position. Now it's a little bit up in the air potentially, but well, there was some talk that even if Munster played, that Anderson was going to get the favour to retain that wing spot over Iramia regardless, but that wasn't confirmed. But the fact now Munster is ruled out, which is obviously disappointing, but Nick Meaney has gone into 5'8", meaning Anderson and Eremia have retained each wing spot. So you would expect in round 17, Munster will be out, obviously. And if Meaney doesn't play absolutely shocking, then Anderson is pretty much locked in for round 17. He's probably the best cheapie you'll ever come across. He's the best cheapie of all time. And there's a couple of reasons for it. Is obviously he's bottom dollar. He'll play round 17. He's got potential upside. Like he's shown he's got a bit about him. Like he's got a decent work rate. He's potentially got some upside with some attacking stats. And the best part is that, you know, when the Storm get their full strength team back, then he's going to drop out of the 17 and not be a AE nightmare, basically. And some people, you know, new to Supercoach might think, well, why is that a good thing if he drops out? But when you're approaching the back end of the season, you want to have your team pretty much fully stocked. Like, you don't want to have guys like Anderson, you know, if you got other dudes like Leo, Thompson, and other sort of like low to mid-range forwards hanging around, it's not good for the team balance. Now, obviously, you can't always get rid of those guys. Like, sometimes you just don't get the opportunity to trade them out, and then they're just stuck there. But it means, like, if you cop like a auto emergency, if you want to use the vice seat loophole, then you're going to be a bit stuffed because you're going to cop like a low score. But if you got a fully strength team, then you know, you can potentially use the loophole a bit more effectively in the back end of the season. It's still not like, I very rarely use the loophole regardless, but that's sort of the thinking behind it anyway. So Anderson is the first trade. Now we've got 300k to work with. Now this is where it gets a bit tricky because there's honestly a fair few guys that I want to bring in, and I don't know if I'm gonna be able to get them all. Well, I'm pretty sure I can't get them all. So Pappenhausen is definitely coming in. I can't get him this week. Well, I could get him this week if I trade it. Well, actually, no, I don't think I even can if I traded out Manu, because I think Pappenhausen is like 950 still. What is he? He's very expensive. He's 929, so I could actually afford Pappenhausen this week if I trade out Manu, but I don't think that's the right play. Don't get me wrong, I would love to get him in. I would love to get Pappenhausen in, but Manu has just been killing it, dude. Like, he is just on fire. And I feel like, I don't know, the Roosters are just really heavily relying on Manu as of late. And there's talks that he could be playing 5'8" this week. Which again, like, I think is really good for his Supercoach points. Like, he's a ball hog. Like, he touches the ball so much and he just runs and he breaks tackles, offloads. And even against the Panthers this week, like, Manu is gonna try his absolute hard out to create attack. So I feel like he's in for a big score again. Even if he doesn't score tries, like, I feel like the attack in just base will be there. So I don't think Manu is the trade out. And Pappenhausen, you would expect, will drop a little bit of cash. I would. It is dangerous though, because I mean, Pappenhausen could come out and absolutely put on a show against Manly. Obviously, he hasn't played in a long time. He'll be raring to go. But I guess the downside, potentially, he might be a little bit, you know, a little bit ginger, maybe a little bit sort of easing himself in slightly. I don't think he will, but yeah, I can't swing it. I mean, I literally could get him in if I trade out Garrick. I could trade out Garrick or Marnie, but I think both those guys are potentially keepers that I don't want to trade out for him. But I guess the funny thing is that the only other option to get Pappenhausen either this week or next week is Suwali, Manu, or Garrick. They're the options for me to trade out. Now, who the hell do I trade out? I mean, I guess it's Suwali, but like Suwali, yeah, I don't know. We'll see how it pans out next week, honestly, because if I'm struggling for the cash, then honestly, maybe I do trade out Manu. Maybe I do. And and I keep Sawali, but I don't particularly like that. I think if I can swing it, I think Sawali is the better option to trade out, just because, he's averaging 54, which is great, but he's not Manu or Garrick in the back line for sure. So Pappenhausen, I need to get in. Ryan Madison is also probably top of the list, and Ronaldo Militalo. All of those guys are extremely, extremely expensive. Because the other guy I wanted to bring in was either Mitch Barnett or Tyson Frizzell. Now, if I look, should I do the calculations? Let's actually have a look. So I was, my other trade this week, I was going to trade out Tago or Tango, if we should be should correctly pronounce it. But if we trade out Tango for well, I could bring in Madison this week, but I feel like Madison is going to drop a little bit more cash, which will be nice. And also I think he's what's it called? I think he's in a little bit of doubt this week with a rib cartilage. I can't speak tonight with his rib injury. So Madison, I don't think is an absolute trade this week. I think I can wait a week there. So the guy I wanted to bring in, I know a fair few people actually going Sean. Well, not a fair few. He's only 2.5%, but a few people are going Sean Lane. I can't bring myself to get in Sean Lane. Yeah, I don't know. You're spending a lot for Sean Lane. Like, he's actually had a pretty good season thus far, and he's pretty expensive. I feel like if you're gonna bring in an eel, you just spend the extra cash to get in Madison, in my opinion. But if we go down, so obviously there's Keon Kalamatangi. I don't like it. I mean, he's probably due for a couple of attacking starts, so potentially he could be a good little smoky and score some good points over the coming weeks, because he's been on a bit of a try drought, that is for sure. But I do think that Barnett or Tyson Frizzell are the better options. Now, Frizzell is coming off a head knock, so his score was down. Where the hell is he? I can never find the players when I'm looking for them like this. Where the hell is he? More expensive? I think he was a bit more expensive, wasn't he? Yeah, he's 518k. He's had a good year. I mean, 29 points. His base stats have been excellent. Like, if we look at Frizzell, he's been really, really consistent over the season with his points. Yeah, just really solid. He had a really good run. 77, 71, 50 against the Panthers ain't too bad, and then 29 in 37 minutes where he copped that head knock. But he's had his 80-minute performances, pretty much, apart from probably a couple of head knock games where he got the 66 and 55. But yeah, the points have been good. So I don't mind the Frizzell pickup, but I feel like, if you go a little bit cheaper to Barnett, I think Barnett's just the better pickup. I think Frizzell definitely can still score a try. We all know that, but I feel like Barnett just has a bit more attacking upside, potentially. Like, he throws a few more offloads. I feel like has a few more tackle busts in him. And obviously his price is way down because of the send-off, and he got that -3 score. So you're getting a guy, again, his points are probably very similar to Frizzell, honestly. 43, 41. And the minutes are a bit all over the shop because he sort of rotates between edge and middle. But yeah, 61, 71, they're pretty good. And I feel like Barnett is probably the best back row option for round 17, apart from Ryan Madison. So I think Barnett also is coming in this week. I don't love it, but it also adds a little bit of cash. And I mean, Barnett compared to Tungo, he's probably going to score similar points overall. Like, the averages are going to be pretty similar. Tungo is going to definitely have a few more higher scoring games, but his, the difference is going to be way higher. Barnett is just going to be more solid. 55 to 60 points. So I'll make that trade, and then we'll look at what we can do next week, because like I said, no, that's the thing. We can't. That's the thing. That's the thing. If I'm looking back, I wish I had one more trade boost. It would have been beautiful. I should have kept one trade boost. That would have made life easy, because I was thinking I could downgrade Pengai to enough, because we don't need Pengai anymore. I mean, he's still scoring well, but we don't need him. Downgrade him to an absolute enough, bottom dollar. Then we probably have enough cash to get in Ryan Madison, Mulatalo, and Pappenhausen, but we don't have 4 trades. So what are we thinking? Do I just not get in Mulatalo? That's definitely an option, because I feel like Mulatalo is not a guy I'm going to want to keep for the rest of the season. My backline is so good already. Like, the backline is so strong that I don't need Mulatalo also, because the Sharks. I mean, the Sharks are taking on the Dogs, but I mean, the Dogs have been actually playing pretty well. But I mean, Mulatalo is probably going to score 3 tries. And then round 17, I think they have a really good game as well. They take on the Storm, so it's not a great game, but it's a weakened Storm, so not the worst time to verse them. So I don't know. I don't know what to do. But let's actually have a look. If I get, I'm just gonna get the old calculator out here. So if I get Pengai Jr. for enough, so what's that? 506. Take 175. So 331 plus our 339. We'll have 670,000 to work with. So then we could trade. I still have to either go Suwali, Garrick, or Manu, but I do feel like Suwali. But let's say Suwali, I mean, he's going to go up in price. So Suwali, we'll keep it simple. He goes up to 5. Let's say, yeah, he's 450 and Pappenhausen will be 900,000. So we'll need, what's that? 450, 450,000. So we've got that. So take 450 away from that. So we'll have 220k in the bank. And then if I want to bring in Madison, again, I have to trade. I have to trade out Olakai to Crichton, Talakai, or Elliott. I guess the funny thing is that I guess if I would actually want Talakai to be named then, because I would just trade out Talakai. Talakai would be gone for Madison, and I could definitely afford that. So if I do it like that, oops, just almost knocked the mic over. So yeah, with those little maths, if I nuff Pengai next week, I can trade out Suwali for Pappenhausen, which is fucking beautiful. Like, don't get me wrong, I would love to keep Suwali, but I mean, I just feel like Manu and Garrick are their keepers at this stage. And that would mean I would get to have Manu back in the center wing, which is just a really strong center wing. And then I could trade out one of my back row for Madison. And I don't know, if Talakai is not playing game 3 and he's obviously playing the bye, then I'm probably thinking Crichton is the guy to go. Like, it's a bit of a sideways trade to go Crichton to Madison, but it's probably better. It'll help the bye round, and Madison's probably shown a bit more this season than Crichton, so that's probably the way I would go, because at the moment, I mean, Elliott is just killing it. I honestly, I sort of half want Elliott to just fucking drop off because then I can just trade him out with no concern. He's scoring goddamn 80 points in base stats is unbelievable. So that's one way of looking at it. I could also, I guess I could also Nuff Pengai. Obviously, Pappy's got to come in. So Pappenhausen is number one priority. So then it's out of Mulatalo or Madison. You'd probably again. I think I'd rather Madison because I think Madison's probably a keeper in the back row. Mulatalo is a keeper in the back line, but my back line is so stacked already that I don't think I need him. So I think that's the better option. Unfortunately, I can't do it all. Unfortunately, I can't quite do it all because I do like the Barnett pick. If I didn't go Barnett, I still think Barnett is just a good pickup. Anderson obviously has to come in. He's just your absolute must-have at this point. Everyone's going to bring him in. And, I don't have to trade Barnett. I could trade, but that's the thing as well. Like, I could trade one of my center wings for Mulatalo now, but they're all, like, obviously I'm not trading Graham. He's round 17 coverage and potentially a keeper. Mike Asiva, obviously not trading. Ruben Garrick, definitely not trading. Taylor May, definitely not trading. Sawali, I could, but he's going to be traded out next week for Pappenhausen. Kiraz has been killing it, so I don't really want to trade him out. So I'm sort of like, who do I trade for Mulatalo anyway? It would probably be Kiraz, but the Dogs have been pretty good, and Kiraz looks like he's not going to be a keeper till the end of the year, but he's definitely potentially up there. So I think this is the best way to do it. Unfortunately, it does mean we miss out on Mulatalo, but I don't wish for injuries, but we'll see how this week goes. Maybe Madison's ribs re-aggravate and he's ruled out for next week. That would mean Mulatalo can come in, or Pappenhausen doesn't. I don't know. Something happens there. You don't know what happens over these coming games, so you never know. Something might change and it'll make our decision for us. But I think that's the plan. I don't see a better way to do it, and that would mean we would have. So if we go with 6 players, because what did I say? 6 players. Let's just count again. So 1, 2, 3. Again, I'm not counting Talakai or Hines in this. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 8 this week for round 17. And then we'll bring in Pappenhausen and another keeper for round 17. So we'll have 10 for round 17 with potentially Nico Hines and Talakai, one or the other, or none of them. Potentially, we could have up to 12 or as low as 10 or 11. That's I made it very confusing, but that's what we're working with, which I think is fine. I'm sure there's going to be teams that are going to have a good week. Like, they'll have like quite a few of the round 17 guys. Like, obviously in the halves, like I don't have Moses, but I've got Ezra Mam instead. Don't have Jerome Hughes. Some other good ones there. There's some good targets, but we just couldn't really swing it for round 17. I felt like it wasn't the best week to really go that hard in, and I think we've done a pretty good job. And I'm not too displeased with it. It could, I won't be surprised if we drop some ranks in the bye. But I feel like we left ourselves with a really strong team for the run home. And honestly, like, looking a bit forward after the bye, the only positions that we're really going to struggle is, the back row definitely could use a bit of bolstering potentially, but I don't know. Even the back row has been pretty hot and cold. Like it's, I mean, Olakau'atu, like after this we'll look at the back row sort of best ofs, but the back row hasn't been the best position this year. I mean, Adam Elliott's fucking killing it. Olakau'atu is definitely a keeper. Crichton has been meh. He's been very average. Talakai in the back row is okay, but not fantastic. And then we'll have Barnett and, well, Madison potentially next week. Ezra Mam, we'll have to, we'll get rid of Ezra Mam for another. Well, what we're going to try to do, so I'm going to swing Hines back up to halfback, and Ezra Mam, I'm going to be looking to get in Tedesco, probably. We're gonna try to get Tedesco back, or I mean, we could do a smoky and try to bring in like Latrell Mitchell. Like there's a couple of fullback options, but I think Tedesco is probably just the way to go. Like it's gonna be hard not to bring him back. And then in the back line, it's pretty much strong as it's gonna be. Kiraz and Sawali potentially we just keep, or Kiraz we might drop for a cheapie or try to bump him up to someone better. Sawali, I think, is probably just a keeper till the end. No, I'm training at Sawali for Pappenhausen, you goddamn fool. So it's just Kiraz potentially gets traded up or down. So, yeah, there's we're looking pretty good. I'm pretty happy. And then I guess the dummy halves, actually, McInnes has got to go. I feel like I'm going to try to get Damien Cook in for McInnes. Whether or not we have enough money for all this, I don't know. Probably not, but we'll see. We'll see. If we can't get Damien Cook, I think Tedesco is probably the number one priority. We'll have to probably Kiraz. We probably will look to nuff him out, and it's a little dangerous to have two nuffs in the back line, but I don't know. We'll see. We'll see how we shape up. I was going to look at the back row because, like I said, I don't know who are we gonna want as our keepers in the back row. I mean, Papali'i, obviously, but we've got him in front row. Viliami Kikau, I'm not gonna get him in. Like, he's second on the points, but he's averaging 65. Like pretty much everybody. Joe Tarpany is killing it. I would have loved to have Joe Tarpany in the back row or front row, but I'm not going to be able to get Tarpany. I've just got to accept that it's not going to happen probably. We've got Talakai, Tino. I mean, again, he's averaging 65. Olakau'atu averaging 69. Tago, Crichton. Like we got most of the top guys, and then it's Zay Yo. I mean, Cameron Murray. So Cameron Murray is probably the guy we're going to bring in, hopefully, but we'll see after Origin. And then, yeah, the rest of it is pretty much not much. I mean, Adam Elliott's killing it lately, so I'm happy I've got him. But, yeah, there's not a whole lot in the back row, honestly. Probably Cameron Murray's the only guy that I don't have, because like I said, Madison will come in next week, probably. And then Cameron Murray's the only guy that we're probably going to look to get in. I guess, or Tarpany, maybe one or the other. But yeah, that's how it's shaping up. Hopefully guys are enjoying the Supercoach action. We're approaching the business end of the season for sure. Make sure to like and comment, and I'll see you guys in the next one.